What do you hope will happen, not only in 1984, but for the rest of your professional life? What are your dreams?
To rule the world.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Madonna.
My boyfriend, who was in a band, to teach me how to play guitar, and then I started writing songs, and then next thing you know, I was like wanting to be a singer. I've got what it takes, but it breaks my heart to give it away. That one moment in the spotlight in front of the band singing was like a really big high. Never had more fun with anyone else. You know it. People are so frightened of my ideas that they try to undermine my actual talent or any artistic value that may be in any of my work, and just say, oh, she's just doing that to shock people. I think that I'm using sex to sell myself. I think that I'm a very sexual person. It's the way I am. It's the way I've always been. Every day. I'm different every month. I'm different every year. Well, I'm older and wiser. Just begun. It's like the tip of the iceberg. I have such a long journey ahead of me. And where it goes, I don't know. Hopefully closer to the truth.
To induct Madonna into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Justin Timberlake.
Wow. Okay, shut up. It's not about me tonight. Madonna will be out of the music business in 6 months. Let's let me finish. Her voice is like Minnie Mouse on helium. Comparing Marilyn Monroe to Madonna is like comparing Raquel Welch with the back of a bus. That's what they were saying about Madonna 25 years ago. I don't think any of them are around to say it tonight. See, a strange thing happens when you're asked to induct Madonna into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First, of course, you're overwhelmingly honored because there is and will only ever be one Madonna. But then, you become aware that every single word you can possibly imagine saying about Madonna's suddenly sounds much hotter, much dirtier, and a whole hell of a lot more fun. Induct her. Why, yes, I'd love to. Enter the hall. Every chance I get. With all due respect to the fine city of Cleveland, even that place sounds slightly erotic knowing that Madonna is going to be entering the hall. Just as soon as I have the pleasure of personally inducting her. And though I'm pretty sure Little Richard would disagree, the truth is that nobody has ever gotten into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame while still looking this damn fine. Madonna, you're taking your rightful place in this hall, but I'll just go on record saying you are no old museum piece. But tonight is not just a chance for me to come on to Madonna. I said come on too, that's terrible. Tonight is a moment to pause and consider the singular impact of this woman. Madonna has changed the way our world sounded. She's changed the way our world looked. And somehow she still found time to publicly kiss at least someone who I may or may not have kissed myself. While I was in the audience. Yeah, of course you all know who I'm talking about, Sean Penn. They're jokes, they're jokes. For longer than I can remember, back before breastfeeding, Madonna has been causing a stir, usually well-timed for the release of her latest album, and making our culture a more provocative and interesting place. When she first appeared on the scene, a sultry dance pop act dressed in lace and fishnet stockings, Madonna captured the attention of women and men with a certain downtown thrift store chic that was all her own, until millions tried to jump on her bandwagon. Back then, few would have predicted that all these years later, and she politely but firmly for me to count, she would remain one of the most popular and crowd-pleasing acts all around the world. Yet Madonna hasn't become one of music's greatest stories ever told just by shocking us at regular intervals. She's done it by working harder and being smarter than everybody else. As she made MTV the place to be seen, she racked up the greatest track record in music history. 47 top 40 hits. That's almost one for every year that she's been alive, give or take a few, but all right. I told her I was gonna jab her a little bit. So. Anyways, the point is, this is a singing, dancing, writing, promoting, achieving superstar who became the biggest name on the planet the old-fashioned way. She earned it. The success story of Madonna Luis Veronica Ciccone, the daughter of Madonna Luis and Tony P. Ciccone from Bay City, Michigan, is a one-of-a-kind and truly global. Like most great artists, Madonna didn't have the easiest of childhoods. but she found her way to New York City, a place that seemed to suit her incredible style and energy. She studied dance with Alvin Ailey and even toured with a disco act called the Patrick Hernandez Revue. Madonna has always proudly let her dance music roots show. Dance music often expresses joy and the joy of sex, but Madonna drew upon its power to spread a message that suggested she was never really a material girl. Her tracks have always been fresh with an ever-changing sense of style and groove, yet taken as a whole, her shapely body of work told a story and offered a transcendent message of hope and empowerment that managed to be spiritual and sensual. Madonna's music dared you, hell, it ordered you to express yourself, to open your heart, to cherish and to justify her love. Whatever pose she was striking at any given moment, Madonna has remained both a familiar friend and a beautiful stranger. She's consistently evoked the past with an edge that felt shockingly new. She bravely mixed and matched the sacred and the profane. She may have been in some way like a virgin, but there was never any doubt this is a woman of experience. Sex is not just the name of some book she wrote, and there's never been any question about who's running Madonna's career. She's always been a woman on top, and I'm sure fully enjoying that position. And that's true today, whether that's in her position as a singer, songwriter, dancer, producer, author, director, wife, or mother. I co-wrote and co-produced half of the tracks on her new record entitled Hard Candy. And naturally, when I tell people that, they're always asking me what it's really like to work with Madonna. Is she the control freak that everyone says she is? And I'm gonna tell you, hell yeah. As a matter of fact, I want to tell a little story really quick. One day in London, I showed up to the studio, and it's probably because of the freaking schedule she had us under, but I was feeling a little ill. I was feeling under the weather. And she could tell, and she said, "You're not feeling too well today." And I said, "No, I'm not feeling too well today." And she said, "Well, would you like a B12 shot? We can get a B12 shot." And I was like, "Yeah, I would love a B12 shot." That's the first thing I thought of. And so I'm thinking, right, that, you know, we're gonna call a doctor and he's gonna make a house call. "Hey, there's a B12 shot," you know. And so then she proceeds to reach into her designer handbag and pull a Ziploc bag of B12 syringes out. And then she looks at me with that face that she looks at people with, and she says to me, "Drop them." I don't know what you say to that, so I immediately dropped my pants. And this is a true story, by the way. I swear, I'm not making this up. So she gives me the B12 shot in my ass, and then she looks at me and she says, "Nice top shelf." And that was one of the greatest days of my life. But I guess in my own cheesy way, I got to thinking I would tell this story because I figured that's exactly what Madonna is and will continue to be for all of us. The shot in the ass when we really needed it. Her upcoming single from her new album is called 4 Minutes to Save the World, and in a sense, that's what Madonna has always done. Save the world, one great 4-minute song at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, the world has long been full of Madonna wannabes, and I might have even dated a couple. But there is only one Madonna. So right now, it is one of the true thrills and privileges of my life to stand on this stage and induct Madonna into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
can't decide what I need to recover from all my bad hairstyles in the previous video or all of Justin's innuendos. Everything he said is basically true, but I didn't say drop them. I said pull your pants down. Okay. Just like to be accurate, as you know, I am a control freak. I'm not sure my speech will be as entertaining, but I do mean it. It is a great honor to receive this award, and I'm grateful and appreciative for the acknowledgement that this implies. But there's something finite about an award, and I would like to reflect for a moment on the things in my life, which have not been and continue to not be finite. I have always been fortunate to have people around me who believed in me. Starting with my ballet teacher, Christopher Flynn, in Detroit, Michigan, who told me at the age of 14 that I was special, that I needed to believe in myself, that I needed to go out into the world and pursue my dreams. Those words meant everything to me because I can assure you at the time I didn't feel special. And then there was Dan Gilroy. He lived in an abandoned synagogue in Queens with his brother Ed. They played in a band together. I was sick of being an out-of-work dancer, so he taught me how to play guitar. And every day when Dan and Ed would go to work on their day jobs, I would sneak down to the basement and I taught myself how to play the drums listening to Elvis Costello records. And I practiced those 4 chords that Dan taught me over and over and over again. I wrote my first song in that synagogue. It was called, ironically, Tell the Truth. I remember that moment so vividly. I remember the hair standing up on the back of my arms, and I thought to myself, who just wrote that song? That wasn't me. I felt like I had been possessed by some magic. And luckily for me, I have been miraculously and continuously possessed by some kind of magic. And even now, my manager, Guy Osiri, who's out there somewhere in the audience watching right now, says to me almost every day, "Em, anything is possible. Just tell me what it is you want to achieve." And he really means it. 35 years later, people are still encouraging me to believe in my dreams. What more could I ask for? There's a saying in the Talmud that for every blade of grass, there's an angel that watches over it and whispers, "Grow, grow." And I can still hear those angels whispering. And even the naysayers, the ones who said that I was talentless, that I was chubby, that I couldn't sing, that I was a one-hit wonder, they helped me too. They helped me because they made me question myself repeatedly, and they pushed me to be better. And I am grateful for their resistance. I know that I would not be here right now without all of it, without all of you, because life, like art, is a collaboration, and I did not get here on my own, and why would I want to? There's no way that I could ever imagine that my life would unfurl as it has. In one way, it feels like a series of suddenlies. One day I was a struggling dancer in Manhattan, and then suddenly I was teaching myself how to play the drums in a synagogue in Queens. And then suddenly I was in a band, and I was doing gigs at CBGB's in Max's Kansas City. And then suddenly I met Seymour Stein hooked up to an IV drip in a hospital bed. And then suddenly I got signed to Sire Records. And then suddenly I was rolling around on the floor at the MTV Awards with my ass hanging out. What nobody knows is that I lost one of my high heels and I dove to the ground to find it, and suddenly it was a dance move. Yikes. And then I had to go backstage and look at my manager, who was white as a ghost, freaking out and telling me I just ruined my career. What did he know? Then suddenly, I was on the stage at Madison Square Garden, and I looked out into the audience, and every girl was dressed like me. Freak me out. Anyways, suddenly and suddenly and suddenly, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is that everything happened exactly as it was supposed to happen. That I worked with the amazing people I was supposed to work with, that I traveled to the amazing places I was supposed to travel to, that I made the mistakes that I was supposed to make. That the universe would conspire to help me and guide me all the way up to this moment where I am standing in front of you. And finally, I have the chance to say thank you to so many people. First and foremost, I would like to thank my record company, Warner Brothers, whom I have been signed to for my entire recording career. Not many people can say that. And then there's Michael Rosenblatt. I wish he was here tonight. He's the person that more or less discovered me in a nightclub in Manhattan. He told me he was an A&R guy at Sire Records. I had no idea what an A&R guy was, but it sounded important. So I jammed my demo tape into his hand. We both did a tab of ecstasy, and then we danced the night away. That's the truth. Which leads me to the next person I have to thank, and that is Seymour Stein, and I do think he's here tonight. Seymour, where are you? Somewhere. The legendary Seymour Stein. Yes. To know Seymour is to love Seymour. Yeah. Who takes meetings with people when they're hooked up to IV drips in a hospital bed? Okay? I mean, I thought the guy was gonna die. But he asked me, he was wearing boxer shorts, by the way, and a t-shirt. It was a little bit strange. He asked me to play my demo tape for him, and I just happened to be carrying a boombox with me. So, yeah. So I played my music, and he seemed to like it. And anyway, Seymour's still alive and well, which is great news. Thank you, Seymour. Does any of this sound strange? Hospitals, synagogues, ecstasy, I don't know. Believe me, it just gets stranger. The next person I have to thank is Liz Rosenberg. I know she's also here somewhere. Yeah. She's been and still is the head of publicity for my entire career. Now, does anybody understand the insanity of being my publicist for the last 25 years? Yeah. Well, I think Liz was smoking a joint when I first met her. Yeah. Yeah. I walked into her office and she very politely stubbed it out in the ashtray. I don't think she thought I knew she was smoking a joint, but it was a little bit obvious. Anyway, we hit it off right away. She was my kind of girl, tough, irreverent, and funny. And we've had a long and amazing chunk of time together. God. After dealing with all the nutcases she's had to deal with and putting out all the fires that she's had to put out, it's kind of amazing that she's not shooting up heroin. I don't mean to grass everybody up and make it sound like everybody I hooked up with was like a drug addict or anything. But the fact of the matter is, or the reality is that I ended up with a group of very responsible and hardworking people who gave me an enormous amount of love and support, along with everyone else at my record company. And I don't have time to thank all of you, but thank you. So then, of course, I needed a manager, right? So I asked myself, who is the most successful artist in the business today? And self answered, Michael Jackson. So off I went to LA to find the man who managed Michael Jackson, to make him my manager. Cut to Freddie DeMann, another man I want to thank, the ultimate Mac Daddy manager, slicked back hair, tan, smelling of expensive cologne, big desk, smoking a cigar. Yeah, he drove a Porsche. He gave me a ride back to my hotel in that Porsche. By the time we got there, he was my manager. And there was no monkey business, okay? He gave me, I'm just kidding. See, he rubbed off on me. This speech was not meant to have a lot of sexual innuendos somehow. He's bringing sexy back. Okay, I'll get you. Okay, so we had an amazing 15 years together, and I learned a lot from him, so thank you, Freddie DeMann. It is while I was with Freddie that I met this incredibly cocky Israeli teenager named Guy Osiri. He was like Freddie's step-and-fetch-it boy. Yeah. He was always putting his 2 cents in, even when, and especially when, I didn't ask for it. He was the most ambitious, confident, idealistic, hungry for knowledge, obsessed with money 18-year-old I'd ever met. He kept pestering me with his ideas. He never stopped scheming. He was relentless. And today, he is my manager. And I know that he would fly to the ends of the earth for me. So thank you, Guy. And as you can see, everything kind of goes full circle here, doesn't it? But what's a record without the music, right? That's right. What's a record without Nile Rodgers, Pat Leonard, Babyface, Joe Henry, William Orbit, Mirwais Ahmad-Say, Stuart Price, Pharrell, and now Justin Timberlake and Timberland. I feel so lucky to have been able to work with such amazing songwriters and producers. I can't underestimate how grateful I am for that. I would also like to thank all of my fans who have stuck by me through thick and thin. God knows they've stuck by me, yes. Now be quiet. Now they've stuck by me through thick and thin, and God knows there's been a lot of thick. That's not an innuendo. I'd also like to thank the Semtex girls, who are my soldiers, and I know they would walk through the fire with me. Thank you, ladies. To my teachers, my friends, and my family, I thank you all for facilitating this journey, which for me has only just begun, and for reminding me that I am only the manager of my talent, not the owner. I've gone on to do so many things in my life, from writing children's books to designing clothes to directing a film. But for me, it always does, and it always will come back to the music. So thank you very much. Now, I would now like to introduce another ass kicker from Michigan, Iggy Pop.
Everybody. Oh, Madonna. This is a beautiful song. For the call of thunder threatens every make me feel shiny and new, like a virgin being touched for the very first time.
Thanks for having us, eh? We had a lot of fun working those out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I like it. The guitar sound amazing. Actually, I like the horn.
Yeah.
Very good.
Downtown.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, he played.
Where's the rest of the band? Hey, you
Steve,
guys.
there's Ron.
Hi, you guys. Good
Yeah.
job.
Say hi, Ron. Ron Ashton.
How are you? How are you?
Scott.
Scott.
Mike Wad.
Sounded good.
Fun.
You woke up.
Can you sign it right there, please?
Oh, I'm glad.
We're gonna go into a press room.
All right.
Iggy, we want you to come to the press room with us. Yeah.
Okay. Come on, you guys.
Come on, guys. Yeah, we'll take a photo right here, you two. Kevin, I got your camera.
We go this way.
That was
Iggy, this
fantastic,
way.
by the way.
Iggy, right here. Iggy, look at me. This way. Madonna. Kevin.
Okay, Iggy.
Kevin.
Smile. I didn't know that was your lap till 2 later.